Welcome to Group Study by One, reading the New Testament in original Greek. Today we're going to read Matthew chapter 1 from verse 21. Verse 21. Τέξετε δε βουιόν και καλέσεις το όνομα αυτού Ιησούν. Αυτός εγκαρσώσει τον λαόν αυτού από των αμαρτιών αυτών. The verb we have in the beginning, τέξετε. It's a future tense. Xi is comprised of kappa and sigma, and it makes it an xi. It's from the verb dicto, and the future tense is texome, an aorist etekon, and a perfect tetoka. We don't have a medium passive perfect or aorist passive. This is a tip, and you can recognize with these vocals. Tek, tav, epsilon kappa, tok, tav, omicron kappa, or tek, tav, kappa. Any words that contains these is most likely derived from the verb tikto. Tikto means to give birth or to bring forth. So in the future tense, in a singular third person, texete, he will bring forth or she will bring forth the uion. What the person is bring forth requires an accusative. So we have accusative uion, a son. Que kalesis. It's from the verb kaleo, with the sigma makes it a future tense, with is, epsilon iota sigma, makes it a second person plural. So it refers to both Yosef and Maria. So they will call the name, the onomaftu, his name, as Isun, Isu, Jesus. When two accusative occurs, A and B, you can translate as A as B, or B as an appositions with a comma as an extra information for previous. So his name Jesus, or his name as Jesus. Avtos as a masculine demonstrative pronouns refers to Jesus, of course. Gar as opposed to positive words for because, for, as a causative meaning. For he, sosi, is from the verb sozo. Zeta, it actually contains, we talked about it, it contains the delta and sigma. And future forms combines with a sigma, falls off the delta. So sosi, he will save. Who will he save? Requires then, of course, an accusative object. So we have ton laon avtu, his people. Laos, it's terminus technicus. In the Septuagint, it often refers, in almost all cases, refer to the people of God. It's a technical term, so you can consider it as apoton amartion avton. From amartion is from the verb. It's from the noun I amartia, meaning the sin. So apoton amartion is a plural from their sins. Verse 22. Τούτο δε όλων γέγονεν ή να πληρωθεί το ρηθέν υποκυρίου δια του προφήτου λέγοντος. Τούτο, this, however, όλων is from olos, all or whole. So all this, γέγονεν, we have the verb, has All these have taken place. It's in a perfect. Let's take a look. Yegonen is from the verb ginome or gignome. And the verbal changes to, in the future, genisome with the sigma, a genomin, and an aorist. Yegona, the perfect. Yegenime, and the perfect medium. And we don't have an aorist passive for the verb ginome. I have underlined gegona, which we have here gegonen. So gegon, you can see the same gegon in the verse 22. Gegon en. The verbal inflections gegona means it's a first person. Gegonen makes it to the third person. We have here ageneto. This is the aorist. It's an aorist forms with the epsilon and augmentation, and eto. It's the ending. The ending changes in a first person omin, egenomin, egenu, egeneto, and in the first person plural, egenometa, egeneste, egenonto, meaning it took place in an aorist. So gegonen is from the perfect tense gegona, and as you can see, the ending changes to n, the third person singular. Yegonen, it took place. In the perfect tense, it has taken place. So all this has taken place in order to plerothi, we have the verb first. It is to be fulfilled. Plerothi is from the verb plero. We'll see it. We'll take a look in the followings. But first, we need to define what's the subject. The subject follows torithen. Torithen is with a definite article to and a neutral, with then rithen and a participle form. It's from the verb lego. If we look at the verbal inflections, ereo is the future. You have to memorize the lego. This is a tricky but very common verb that's used in the New Testament. You have to memorize the verb paradigms. And the future is ereo, or in the contracted forms with epsilon omega, makes it an omega, ero. You can see the circumflex above the omega. Ipon, it's most common, an aorist. Irica, perfect. Irime, perfect medium passive. Erithin, an aorist passive with the theta you can recognize. Rithen, then we have a theta first of all, that makes it a passive form. And then, epsilon ni together is on a participle ending from the thes, thesa, then. So the then makes it the saying that the words that was said. So make it a noun with a definite article to, the then. So what was said? Ipo kiriu means by Lord. We don't have the definite article in the front, but we can naturally, in English, put the Lord. By the Lord, via tu profitu. Via with the genitive makes it through, by. So through the prophet, profitu is a prophet, and legontos is also from the verb lego, and ontos we have seen already in the previous verses. Ontos makes in a participle genitive singular form. So legontos, what's the subject of the legontos? It could be the profito, which is the same in the same form like genitive, or kirio. It's not the main points of technically the sentence dia tu profito, although it's through the prophets saying the source is from the Lord. So technically, is all the same. What was said is from the Lord. Let's take a look at the plirothi a little more. Plirothi is from the verb pliro, to fulfill, with the theta makes it and a passive, to be fulfilled. This is a typical forms of o contracta. It's called the verba contracta. We have about 4 cases with a contracta, and o contracta, with the epsilon e contracta, and with eta, and Erasmus is eta contracta. And since our word involves an o contracta, we'll take a look at it. We have seen this already briefly in a previous session with o plus e or u makes it u when it's contracted. O with iota diphthong, which means it's combined vowels, omicron iota, epsilon iota, or e. You can see iota subscriptum. Iota subscriptum means that it actually contains iota after. So eta iota, but makes it in shorter forms with the iota subscriptum. So O plus iota diphthong makes it an E, or in Erasmus, OE. O plus the omega and eta makes it omega, O. O, O, E, O. How's the verb changes in the verb inflections? Pliro. In this case, we have, as I said, with the theta as the passive forms. But what follows the eta with the iota subscriptums? In the verbal paradigms, any endings that contains iota subscriptums and with the e is subjunctive. In German, it's called a conjunctive, but it's a subjunctive forms and changes in the first person with the theta, omega. Tho, these, second person singular, the, with the third person singular, and a thomen, thete, thosin in a plural. So pliro, and we can also see that pliro contains the omicron, but in the subjunctive cases, the short vocal changed to the longer. So omega we have in a pliro combines with the subjunctive ending with tho, these, the, thomen, thete, thosin. And what do we have here in the third person singular? Plirothi. So that's what makes it the dorithen, the third person singular. It matches the number. So what was said by the Lord through the prophet saying is to be fulfilled. Okay, this is today's session, and I have to mention for the copyrights, the Greek text we're using is from Novum Testamentum Graece, 28th edition from the Nestle-Aland. Thank you for listening today. And if you don't have the text 28th edition, you can also read text online in the following links.